Good. Wow. Woo. That was even better. That's the best one so far.
Yes. It did feel that exact
You can feel that
way.
way in
Yes. When you said, no, come on, I gotta go this way, and then, oh, you brought her around so brightly, and then the snap, and that, no fight to it.
Hi, it's Dr. Thayer here. I'm with Tim and Roy, father and son, and they've been here a few days already.
Yes.
And the interesting thing about them is that they were here for a week plan, and they came back down from the Bay Area, and they're excited because they watched my videos, and they want to get better. And so they just took a leap of faith. Tim been watching my videos for a while and goes, Dad, we're going to come bring you down here, and they got down here, right? And so the interesting thing he just told me a few minutes ago is I told him, I go, if you're feeling pretty darn good by Wednesday, you should consider staying a second week. And what did you just tell me?
My dad told me he wants to keep going.
Yeah. And so he's feeling so good that he wants to keep going. So they're already signed up for a second week. Why? Because he can't believe the difference in how he feels, and he wants to continue this. He goes, I only have so much longer to live.
Yes.
Why not live the best I can, right?
Absolutely.
So it's amazing at 93 that it solidifies in his head what the real true purpose of life is. Get as much life out as you can, and he understands and he sees it. Okay, so Tim, you came down here, 20 years of low back pain, and a whole bunch of other crap. And why don't you just kind of give us an idea of what your pain is, where your pain is, and then we'll kind of talk about how you've gone for the last couple of days.
Well, my pain mainly has been in my lower back for
Gotcha.
almost most of my time.
Yeah.
Happened about 20 years ago, carrying sample cases, salesman,
Yeah.
and then my knees have just been horrible.
Yeah. So bad that you can't run. You want to get back to running and exercise, right?
Yep.
Okay, and so you have been here, and this is again a different video for you guys because usually you get the first day, but I didn't get these guys the first day. Too busy, didn't work out, so we're doing a third day later. So this is Wednesday, and so Tim, how has that been going this week?
Well, my back pain went from about a 7 down to about less than a 1.
Less than a 1. And how long has it been?
Over 20 years.
And how many days have I treated you?
You've only done twice.
Twice.
2 days.
2 days, right?
Yeah.
And what have I treated on you? Have I treated your back, your knee, your foot, your belly? What have I treated?
Just my neck.
Just your neck, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so what do you think of the process so far?
I'm just amazed by it. I gotta say it that way.
Good. And so your foot, ankle, how's that been?
I haven't even felt any pain in my ankle or my foot.
And he came here for that. You had
Tingling in my hands.
Tingling your hands. How's that
No
been?
tingling at all.
Yeah. How long has that been going on for?
Years.
Years. And then what about this sleep? How's sleep been going?
I didn't even wake up once last night.
Yeah. And you've had problems with your sleep for quite a while too.
Yes. Always with multiple urinations, and it went down to last night none.
Gotcha. So different.
Different.
Gotcha.
Very different.
So Roy, your thing is that you're old.
Absolutely.
93 years young, man. Look at this guy. I love this guy. Just a joy for life. And so he came in here with back pain, and such bad back pain that his son was like, "We got to get you doing something, Dad. You're in so much pain." And you said he wasn't really complaining a lot, but he was limping or something like that.
Yeah, his walk wasn't. It was off.
It was off. So Tim's like, "I'm going down to see him. You're coming with me, Dad." Right?
Yes.
Gotcha. And so, but we decided it was sciatica down the right leg, low back pain, and we decided it's been 5 years, but it's probably been a lot longer than that. And so his interesting thing is, again, 93 years old, and he told us about a story that when he was a kid, he was in a barn, and he and his friends or brothers or sisters or whatever were jumping into a bay hail, right?
Yes.
And jumping off the second floor or whatever. And they did it multiple times, and they try to outdo each other, and he ends up doing stupid and falling and hitting his head.
On the dive.
He dove in there, right?
Yeah.
And tell us what happened there, sir. After that.
And that caused me to hit the bale, and I came up like this, turning to my brother, and I said, "I can't talk. What happened?"
How old are you?
I must have been 15 or 16 at that time.
And your neck was stuck like that. What did your brother do?
He grabbed a hold of my head and just pulled on it because he knew that was the only thing to do.
Yeah.
And it
He
stretched
came out and stretched out, right? So that was the interesting story. So he did that years ago, and he's seen a chiropractor like 4 or 5 years ago, I forget, a couple times.
Yes.
And but when I adjust him, this old injury comes out. You can see it in him. He's been suffering for 90 years with this thing, or 80 years.
Yes.
And so he's had a revelation here. 93-year-old young has a revelation about how chiropractic works, because his neck was so jacked up, it was never fixed. It was just to put a splint on it. And this guy's a joy to have in here, and he's really reaping the rewards of this chiropractic. So tell us, how has this experience been for you so far?
It was just a delight to feel that something needed to be fixed, and that was the start of it. And I knew some of it from past, so that I could kind of relax, but it was easier the second time and easier the third time.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I feel completely, but I feel so that I will be embarrassed that others will wonder, wait a minute, what do you expect?
How did you get the Fountain of Youth down in California?
I am going with such an easy body, with where I live with my wife at a home for aged, and they look at me as, well, you must be 75 years old. What are you doing here?
Okay, so
Now, if I go back now, and I feel like probably I am 50 or better, and Jeff, my Timothy here has put me back onto how to do a good diet, and I think I've left a little pound out.
good. Okay, we're not talking about diets now,
This
sir.
is so
I'm going to
good.
stop you, sir. I'm going to stop you, because I want to see. He's doing really great, but I want the story of how he and him have been walking. Tell us how the change in walking has been.
Oh, it's been incredible. Yesterday we were told to go to the beach and walk around, and
Who told you that?
the doctor told me. It's a doctor.
Go to the beach.
It was doctor's orders.
Go to the beach.
So we follow every
Smell
doctor
it.
order, and we went all the way down Newport Park to 24th, and we walked down to the beach, and then we were walking on the beach, and he's talking with me, and you know he can talk, and we walked all the way to the pier, and we got to the pier. We sat down at the pier. Well, we walked all the way back and forgot where the car was, and we walked all the way to 32nd, and all the way up to Newport, and all the way back. So
Okay.
that's got to be at least 3.5 miles.
Okay, 3.5 miles. So tell us how far this gentleman could walk before.
About 8 solid blocks before he was exhausted.
Exhausted. And how far? 3.5 miles is a hell of a lot farther than 8 blocks, right?
Yes, and he still could, and he still had energy after that.
Yeah. And then, so tell us about his hearing too. You said the other day when he was walking around.
Oh, we were walking around at night after our first treatment, and I'm just talking to him like this, and he looks over and says, "I can hear you." And he has hearing problems and has had for many years, and then he's got hearing aids, and he didn't have them in, and he could hear me talk.
Yeah. Now I'm not trying to embarrass him. One more thing. One more cool story here is everybody at home was saying that Dad was in a bad mood for the last couple of months.
Yes.
Yes, really, and he doesn't realize it, but he was in a bad mood, right? And he didn't really know why. He's always been in a good mood. You can tell he's a happy-go-lucky guy. But tell us about how this has changed his mood since he's been here.
All of a sudden, he's just smiling and giggling and laughing, and he hasn't been that way in about 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real change.
So, anyways, I love this story. I wanted to get this all on video because they've had a life-changing event. And this guy's 93, like I said, and he totally gets chiropractic so much that it's infectious. I hope you guys like this. Pink line is the center of balance in your body, and so your head, you look for where the head is. The head is right of center. This is the right side over here. So it's to the right 8.71 millimeters. That's your first leverage point. You can also see how your right shoulder is lower. So your whole body is leaning to the right. This is Tim's x-rays. Now the big thing on him is that he has a massive TMJ problem. So see how much space is over here?
Yes.
And how little space is over here?
Yes.
The jaw is shifted so far to the right. There is a problem in his jaw that could be there for years. So that will also be an issue. Why? Because this kind of jaw problem can cause pain in the jaw, can cause you to grind, can cause you to clinch, and all that will put feedback back on the neck, which can cause the body not to accept my adjustments. So that's something we have to address in the long run, and yours is severely off.
Okay.
Okay? Any question with this one? Okay. So low back. Short leg right leg short, 4.62 millimeters. Pretty straight through here, as you can see. A little bit of bowel gas. These spots are bowel gas, but not that bad through here. A little bit of pelvic rotation. The hips are rotated a little bit, but again, not huge numbers. Not huge numbers.
Okay.
We'll get to the cause in a second here. So here's the low back. Some arthritis building up in the low back. These little tips right here, arthritis. Again, gas right here, arthritis, but not as bad as it could be. The neck should be shaped like this line right here.
Okay.
And it sort of is, but it's not. It's forced that way. The reason I have this line here is to show you how far ahead of your head is. 74.21 millimeters. So posture's been an issue for a long time for him.
Yes.
Okay? And it's been out there for so long that he has this bump growing on the back of his head. You guys all know this because I talk about this constantly on my x-rays, on my x-ray talks. This is a traction spur. That bone is growing into the muscle because of long-standing poor posture. Right here, these arrows because of arthritis right here. You can see the arthritis. So smooth, that little hook right here. This hook is arthritis. Hook, arthritis. Up here, no arthritis. Okay? The atlas is severely worn off here. See how there's a crescent moon here?
Yes.
So this bone, and you can even see how white the top is here, is ground away on that bone. And you hear that as sandpaper when you move your head back and forth.
I hear that.
Yeah, you hear kind of a grinding in there. And so why is that important? Well, the brain stem fits right in here. So when you grind on that thing, you essentially irritate your brain. Okay? Any questions with this? We already talked about how to fix it, but again, lots of evidence of long-standing problem. And I just wanted to show Tim's first because when we showed Dad's, woo! Dad's is a showstopper. Any questions about yours, Tim?
No, I'm fine.
Good. So let's get to the real fun one. Okay, here's Roy's. So 16 millimeters off over here. Look at these dentures in here. Lots and lots of dentures. Why am I pointing that out? Well, because he's had such problems for so long that he's ground his teeth away. He pulverized them. And it's not just from bacteria. It's not just from having bad teeth or gingivitis. This is because he pounded on them by just grinding away on them. Okay? Now look at this. This is the lowest shoulder I've seen in a long time. 34 millimeters on the right. Extreme. 15-degree scoliosis here. And so the evidence in his spine is interesting because you can see over here on the low back, or the mid back right here, there's hardly any arthritis on this side, but you can see all the arthritis on the right side.
I see the hooks.
And so you see the hooks on the right, not the left. The reason why is because he has 90 years of leaning to the right. This is just an abnormal wear pattern. But it's neat to see in this because it shows how age can affect the body. Okay? So, but this shoulder is way low.
Look at that.
Yeah. Sexy. Okay, next. Low back. Where's the low back one? Here. So low back. 16-degree scoliosis pattern in his low back here. And so left leg is shorter here, which is interesting because his right shoulder goes down. So his scoliosis pattern does affect his body, and it's throwing everything off, which again is just years and years of problems. I think that fall when he was a kid really threw all his balance off, which deviated all this stuff. Okay? 14 degrees pelvic rotation, meaning this side is wider than this side. That means the hips are not only tilted this way, but they're rotated back this way. And so those are all just biomechanical positions, but just know that there's a lot of issues here. Okay? Let's go into the low back here. Tons and tons of arthritis on his low back, tons of arthritis, and you'll be able to compare these when you take the x-rays back on your phone. You'll see how much arthritis in his back compared to yours. This bone is completely worn out. This is all completely worn out. And tons of constipation here. It's all messed up. So his body is just a jagged mess in here. Okay? Now, the neck is where the real interesting part is. So he's 134 millimeters out in front. You were 74. This is almost double yours. So again, he doesn't have that growth as much as I thought it would be, but his spine is worn out. His arthritis is so bad, and this is what happened back in the day. So this is normal.
Yeah.
See this space here?
Uh-huh.
These bones are fused together. They actually fuse together. There's no separation anymore. So he did so much damage back then that he caused massive arthritis, enough to where there's not even separation. These have been fusing together for years. And so see this separation right here, separation here, these two are actually growing together. And that's not from a congenital problem, that's because of damage. So He's been suffering this damage for years, and this is all, everything else is compensatory from that. That's why he's having the massive improvement that he is, because he has something that's so bad that loosening it up at all is helping him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. I also saw this right here too. That's a little bone growth for all you guys out there that care about this stuff. This right here grows all the way down into the, all the way down to the bone right here. Oh, look at this. I didn't see this too.
Yes.
Right there. So see bone growth right here, guys. That's, I've never seen this before. So that's either broken or I'm going to say it's a little bit of both. So this is growing because of all this tension. So all this is starting to become bone in here instead of muscle.
Instead of muscle?
Yeah, it's changing over to muscle, to bone, because he has such poor ability to hold his head up that the body is just walling it off. And again, you can only see this in somebody who's 93.
Wow.
Any questions about any of these guys?
Surprise. No, that's so surprising because everything you've mentioned has been just perfectly exactly
Yeah.
what
Well, look
I
at that.
had
2, 3.
to do and
That's the crazy one.
expected, and now it feels different.
Yeah, feels different.
Yes.
Okay, so sir, watch yourself when you come out here. There's a piece of metal right here. Good. Want to go back in the room? He has just. Okay. Roll you first. I'll go back, sorry. Shoes on. Shoes on is fine. I'll go tell you what. Okay. This right there's fine. Okay. I did see one thing put me wise to me. How to mount this. How to mount this. This is not have to do. Is he the right way, sir? He's fine. Everything really go like this, sir? Okay, good. So, you've done this before, so just relax, right? Indeed. Absolutely.
So I want you guys to understand what you just saw on the x-rays. The x-rays, you saw that fusion of the neck. So most chiropractors would stay away from that. Why? Because it looks like it'd be bad. Most chiropractors would not adjust a 93-year-old man the way I adjust. When you guys watch, I hope the chiropractors out there learn that no matter how old you get, you can give him a proper adjustment and he responds wonderfully. And so this is important, not just for people watching this, but for chiropractors to know that it's safe for even 93-year-olds. Okay. Relax yourself. Closer. There we go here. Good. Wow. Woo. That was even better. That's the best one so far.
Yes. It did feel that exactly.
You can feel that way in
yes. When you said, no, come on, I gotta go this way, and then, oh, you brought her around so brightly, and then the snap, and that, no fight to it.
there. No fight. You're doing great. Every day for him, guys, has gotten better and better because the first day was a little hesitant and his neck was really tight, but it's gotten better and better on him every time. So again, at chiropractors, I hope you guys take note because this is important for all you guys to understand that what we can do with these gentlemen, we don't have to be scared. You just have to do it right. Come this way, sir. Okay, turn to your right. There we go. Wow.
Yes, that's exactly it. I can't. And oh, that felt so good. Oh, no hurt to it.
No hurt to it, huh? And what about the surprise? It still feel surprising, or do you feel like
Yes.
you're more used to it? Still surprising?
Oh, yes, to the result of it. Oh,
Tell the camera, tell everybody out home, what does it feel like immediately after this?
yes.
What does it feel like, sir?
I feel like that everything now must be working because it felt so smooth.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah.
The last one, no, it was just a step into this one, and I had no fear of it.
Good. Hey, go ahead and sit up, sir.
Yes.
Here,
Yes.
Yep.
Oh.
No. Remember, we talked about the shoulders.
I don't know what I can do. Because what it felt was I honestly can't believe, that what you had me able to do to get around, and then you snapped it, and now my neck stayed together. Thank you.
Okay, you're gonna walk now, Dad.
Go ahead and walk. You're up, Tim.
Go ahead and walk, Dad. She's recording. Okay, Doc, here we go. That's it down there. Okay.
Okay, Tim, talk about your eyes here real quick, okay? And tell us what happened. You were fine when you were how old again?
I was 12 years old, and I was playing baseball, warming up a pitcher, and a guy was swinging the bat to hit the ball, and he followed through and knocked me right here in my eyeball, I mean, in my skull. And ever after, I've had to wear glasses, and I have severe prisms up to 12, the highest they can give. And I see cross-eyed, but I see perfectly, so I'm hoping something can happen there. And I've always had ringing in my ears.
Yeah. And so the interesting thing about there is that he had a cause and effect. He got hit by a baseball bat, again, accidentally, but his vision and his tracking changed ever since then. Okay? And so he wears prism glasses to help correct that. Scoot down a little, please. Put your feet on top. Good. Good, nice.
Ooh.
Now tell us how it feels to you. What does that feel like to you?
I just heard 4 cracks, and it's like there's this pressure relief.
Yeah. And you went to chiropractic before you came to me, right?
About
You went to
4 different ones.
4 different ones, okay.
Yeah.
And did any of them test your neck ever?
Only one did one time.
Oh, okay, interesting. I didn't know that. But he said they adjusted mostly his back. So why'd you watch my video? I mean, why'd you come here? Because you watched the videos and you said, I'm doing it different or something like that, right?
Well, I saw you change a lady from total sciatica, and all you did was adjust the neck.
And she's here right now, too, huh?
Yes, and that was an amazing thing to see. The first video I ever saw, the lady was really here. Yeah, that couldn't have been planned.
No, it wasn't. Good, nice.
Wow. Oh my goodness. No, that didn't hurt at all.
Like the other ones were hurting a little bit more, huh?
No, none of them really hurt, but that didn't hurt. But I felt it all the way up to my skull.
Your skull?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get you up here.
And I was a little dizzy when you were actually adjusting me. I'm a little dizzy now again.
Yeah.
More dizzy than I have been.
And again, I told you guys before online, is that we want dizzy because that means I'm working on his cerebellum, I'm changing, I'm rebooting the system. So to change his balance, sometimes we make you a little imbalanced first. It feels imbalanced only because it's something new.
Okay.
Okay? So you're gonna walk for me, please.
Okay. Catching up with Dad. Go forward. Yes.
So we're teaching him how to walk. Roy's been wiggling his shoulders around for years, and so he's having trouble kind of learning how to relax. Right here, sir. So he's doing a much better job. And this is, again, only 3 days in.